Hello guys, welcome to my first tutorial videos on Microsoft Excel for data analysis. This tutorial is going to be covering how to analyze data using Microsoft Excel only, and this will be my first video. Alright, before we continue, I think you guys need to know me. I am Gowon Shedrack Oguche by name, a data analyst, and here are my social media handles, my WhatsApp, my TikTok, and my Facebook. And for this first video, we'll be talking about a small outline, the overview of Excel interface, some basic navigation and shortcuts. We'll be looking at some basic formatting, then we'll also look at some formulas, talking about the cell referencing and some arithmetic operations, and probably the basic functions also. Yeah, the basic functions of some of these things. So let's get started. This is an Excel interface, a worksheet, and just like I said, we'll be talking about the Excel interface, a very short overview. And the first thing I would love to mention is the title bar. Here we have Book 1 Excel. This is the title bar. So this is the title of our worksheet. If I should save this now, then that Book 1 will definitely change to the name, whatsoever name I change it to. So that's the title sheet, a title page. Here, over here where we have the file, the home, the WPS, PDF, insert, page layout, and all of that is known as the menu bar. So here is the menu bar, and each menu has its own ribbon. So I'm clicking on home, and here are the ribbons for homes. If I should click on WPS, PDF, here are its own ribbons. We have that of insert, we have that of page layout, formulas, data, review, view, and all of that. So let's not forget these are ribbons, and if I click on file 2, file 2 has its own ribbons. Yes, the options under them. Talking about the sheet itself, here is a cell. Any place I click on is the active cell. So here I have an active cell. If I click here, this is the active cell. If I click here, this is the active cell. This particular area here is known as cell referencing. Yes, cell referencing. This is the particular aspects where shall I say, the name of whatever active cell I'm working on shows. So right now I'm on M10. Remember, Excel works in rows and columns. Yeah, so these are the rows in numbers, and these are the columns in letters. And talking about rows and columns, Excel only works in columns and rows. Let me put it that way. That is why you are saying the cell referencing to be M10. So if not, if it's rows and columns, it's supposed to be 10M, but seeing M10, that means columns and rows. So if I click on this one, that means this particular active cell is G6. If I click on this one, this particular active cell is D7. If I come here and click on this side, the particular active cell is Q20. Then here is the formula bar where you type in all your formulas. Yes, whatsoever thing you type in an active cell, it definitely appears here. And whatsoever thing you type in the formula bar will appear in any of the active cell. So imagine I come here and I go to the formula bar and type. You see, so it's like that. Let us please take note. Don't forget. Please take note. Okay. Here is the worksheet, just like as I've explained. And here is the sheet name. So here is sheet 1. If I click on this plus, we have sheet 2. If I click on this plus, we have sheet 3. And each sheet can be renamed. So imagine I rename this. If I rename this sheet 1, maybe I say, okay, let me call it Excel. Enter. You see? So that is Excel for this time. This sheet name is Excel. Then we have the sheet 2 and we have the sheet 3. Here is the scroll bar, the horizontal scroll bar, where you scroll to the right and to the left. Yes. And here is the vertical scroll bar where you scroll to up and down. Yes, up and down. So this is the zoom. The minus is for the zooming out, while the plus is for the zooming in. And that is that. So I think that should be all for now for the interface level. All right, to the basic navigation, shortcuts, data entry, and formatting basics. Now, for you to enter a data, if you want to enter a data to an Excel sheet like this, you go to any of the cells. So let me say I start from here. I click here, and let's say, okay, I type a number. Let me use numbers since I'm going to perform some arithmetic operations. So I can say first number. Then if I click here, I say second number. Yes, first number and second number. So while clicking here, you can see that the first number doesn't have, is not showing in a full form. So just come to this place and shift, or instead you can double click, and when you double click, it automatically adjusts itself. And if you check for the second number, you see that it also enters the other cell. So you can just come here and also double tap and it adjusts itself. So first number, let's say I have 12, then maybe I have 13, maybe I have 15, let's say I have 17. Okay, that's that. Then maybe here I see I have 72, maybe here I have 55, here I have 22, then here I have 6, and like that. Now, the first navigation I want to talk about is if you are at the top of, let's say, the heading, yes, the heading of a data set, and you want to go to the down. Like imagine you have about like 100 data set, or maybe 10,000, 100,000, and all of that. And you want to move down to the end, maybe to check the amount of rows or data set that you have. So you just hold your shift button, or hold the shift button on your keyboard, then the arrow key, you press it down. So once I click on down, it goes to the last place. Yes, take note, please. If I should click the if I should hold the control button again and the up arrow, then it goes to the up, to the top. Then if I want to go to the right hand side, the control button and the forward arrow. If I want to go to the back, the control button and the backward arrow. Please take note, I'm not making use of the mouse because here is the mouse, so I'm actually making use of the keyboard. So please take note, I'm making use of the keyboard. So that is that. Then another basic navigation and some kind of formatting is, of course, you are used to the Control B, which is for bold, the Control A, which is to select all, then the Control B for bold. You see, the Control C. Control C is for copy. So imagine I copy this, Control C. Yes, Control C. Then maybe I come here and paste, Control V. Here is the paste. You can see the first number did not leave where it's supposed to be, where it was before. So let's assume I use Control X, which is the cut. Then I come here and click on Control V. This one is cut and paste. Yes, so take note of that. Take note of that. All right. Another shortcut. I think while we continue, we'll definitely learn some other shortcuts and some basic formattings. Yes, some basic formattings. If you want to centralize, you have the center, you can put it in the center, like the way it is now, it's already in the center. I can move it this way, I can move it to this side. Yes. So like that, and also the way it is, I can merge and center. Maybe I'm merging more than one cell. Maybe I want to merge this cell and this cell together, merge and center. So it is assumed that whatsoever thing I type here in this particular cell is going to appear at the center. So I've merged the two cells together. So please take note of that also. And some other formatting will definitely come in while we continue with the tutorials. All right, guys. Let's look at some arithmetic operations. Don't forget this is your formula bar. So any formula you want to write, you can write it in the formula bar, or you go ahead to write it in any of the active cell. Yes, you can go ahead to write it in any of the active cell while it's going to show in the formula bar. So let's assume I want to perform sum operation. I have sum. I have subtraction. Okay, let's assume I have maybe, yes, subtraction. Okay, let's say we have multiplication, then this side I have division. Those are the basic formulas, basic arithmetic operations. So for sum, before I make use of the formula, I'm going to do this. For sum, I can say all formula, please remember this, all formula start with an equal sign. Yes. If you not put an equal sign, Excel assume is just an ordinary text, like the way we have 12, 13, first number and all of this here, because it did not start with equal sign. But once I include an equal sign like this, so automatically it is assumed that I want to write a formula. So let me say 12 plus 13 equal sign. You see, 12 plus 13 is 25. So maybe for the subtraction, and I say equal sign, 25 minus 24, of course, is 1. So if I say multiplication, let me say equal sign 4 multiplied by 5, equal sign is 20. Then for the division, equal sign, I say 4 divided by 2, and we have 2. Yes, so don't forget, those are the simple ways to perform some arithmetic operations. Now let's look at the functions, inbuilt functions that perform all these arithmetic operations. I think we have that for minimum, to check minimum. We have that for maximum. This one is minimum. Okay. If there are other things, I don't think there is subtraction. There's no subtraction in some of the formulas I want to use in Excel. So we can just delete this cell. Okay. So we have our sum. So here now I'm going to sum these numbers together, and please look at it. Look at it. So I'm going to type equal sign, then sum, SUM. You see, so once I click on it or I press my tab, I double click on it. So it's expected that I should choose the numbers I want to sum from. That means the range. So I'm going to click and drag this. That means from D4 to D7. Enter. You see, so 12 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 is 57. I'm going to do the same thing here again so that we'll understand it better. Equal sign, then the sum, keyword. Yes, so come here, click and drag and enter. You see, the sum of this is 155. So I'm going to do for the minimum. So equal sign, we have something they call mean, that is for minimum. Then I can click on this and maybe come here and drag. Of course, the minimum is 12. Yes, so it's 12. Then for the maximum, we have equal sign, max. So once you click and drag, of course, the maximum is 17. So we have 17. So the same thing applies here. Equal sign. Then when I click on mean, yes, mean, click and drag. Sorry, mean. Sorry, equal sign, mean, this. Then I click and drag, enter. We have 6, which is the minimum. Then for the maximum, equal sign, max, then click and drag, enter. So we have 72. So please take note. Then we have what we call average also. Average, that is average of these numbers. And of course, you know, average is when you sum the numbers, like the way we have 4 here. You have to sum all these and divide it by 4. If you have 5, you sum all the numbers and divide by 5. So that's the manual way of calculating average. Average. Okay. So equal sign, then average. Sorry, average like this. Then click and drag. Enter. So the average of these numbers is 14.25. So instead of me to write the same thing, I can just click and drag. Let me just click and drag here. Automatically, the average of this is 38.75. That is the average of this. Look at it. So I just click and drag. Yes. So whatsoever thing, if you write something anywhere, maybe I write something here like this 72, and then I come to this edge and click and drag, then 72 is going to appear everywhere. Yes. So take note. Maybe I click and drag this, then I do like this. Okay, I cannot move down, but I can move forward like that. So 72 will definitely appear everywhere. But imagine I click on this, maybe I click on all, then I now drag. Maybe I drag to this side. Automatically, they are going to appear also to that side. So the same thing applies to formula. Like the way this formula is, if I should click and drag, you see, it's showing me 15 because It's already, because I dragged down, that means it starts from D5 instead of D4 down to D8. Yes, D5 down to D8. While the upper one starts from D4 down to D7. Then this one is showing 16 because it starts from D6 down to D9. Yes, this one is showing 37 because it starts from D7 to D10. So if you write a formula and you drag, then the formula is going to copy also like that. So please take note. Take note of that. I think that is that for average. And we have another basic function uh in Excel. We have basic functions like the count. We have the count if. We have the count ifs. We have the count blank. We have the count a also. We have the sum if. We have the sum ifs also. Okay, welcome. This is count if, count ifs. We are going to be talking about basic functions here, and here it's how it's going to be. Now, talking about the count first, there's a basic function in Excel called count, and what count does is it counts the numeric values within a particular range. Yeah, depending on the range highlighted. What it does, it counts a numeric value, count the amount of numeric value you have within a range. So the formula is equal sign, then count. Yes, let me say I want to count from here. Click and drag, and I click enter. So don't forget, I actually highlighted 5 cells from first number 12, 13, 15, and 17. But it's showing me 4 because first number is not a numeric value. But 12, 13, 15, 17, they are all numeric values. Please take note of that. They are all numeric values. That is why it's showing 4. So that is what count does. Yes, what count does, it count only the numeric values. So before I talk about the count if and count ifs, then the count blank, just like the way the name sounds, what it does is it counts the amount of blank spaces you have in your data set. So imagine you have a data set of maybe 100 or let's say 10,000, 100,000, and like that above, and you want to count the amount of blank spaces you have. So what you do is you use the formula count blank, equal sign, count blank. Yes. So now the option here is telling me to highlight my range. So let me say I highlight from here down to here. Yes, let me just use this. Enter. So it's showing me that I have 6 blank spaces. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see? Correct. 6 blank spaces. Are we together? So imagine I say equal sign, count blank. Yes, count blank, and I highlight this particular place as the range, then enter, showing me 96. That means all this range, if you are to count all this range, they are up to 96. Yes, that's what it does. Then the count A, what the count A does is it does the opposite of the count blank. Remember, the count blank counts empty spaces, but the count A counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So if I'm to use count A and I count this, enter. Now it's showing me 10. That means of all the spaces that is highlighted here, we have 10 field, or should I say 10 cells that are not empty, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, while others are empty. I don't know if you, yes, I believe we will get that. That is for count A. Let's not forget. Okay, now coming to count if and count ifs. Now what count if does is it counts, yes, it gives a numerical value. The output is always numeric since it's counting, and um it counts based on a particular criteria. Let me put it that way. It counts based on a particular criteria, just one criteria, count if. Why they count ifs counts based on more than one criteria. Now I'm going to give an example. Let's say I have country and okay, maybe let's say I have players. Okay, country, then I have players. Sorry, I'm a footballer, so I love football very well. Then I say club. Okay. Now I'm going to be writing some countries, then naming some players and their football team. So I'm going to start with Portugal, and maybe I say Spain. Maybe I say um okay, let's say Argentina. Then maybe I say Brazil. Then maybe I say Nigeria. Then maybe I say what again? You can see as I'm typing all this particular number is reducing because there are no longer blank spaces. So this it already it started from 96 and now it's showing 88, meaning all these range they are no longer empty. So it's just reducing and reducing. So this is Portugal, Spain. Okay, okay. Portugal, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, Nigeria. Um, let me which country can I use again? Okay, let me use Egypt. Okay, Egypt. Then let me say France. Okay, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me repeat maybe Nigeria. Let me repeat maybe okay Portugal. Let me repeat Argentina. Let me repeat Argentina. Okay, now I want to name a player. Let me player that plays for Portugal. Let's okay, let me say Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Um, and Bruno Fernandes plays for Manchester United. Manchester United. Okay. All right. Any other Portugal player that plays for Manchester United? Yes, we have Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot, and he plays for Manchester United. Okay. For Spain, let's say okay, we have Pedri, and Pedri plays for Barcelona. Okay. Any other player that's played for Spain? Okay, Spain is not repeated. Okay. Now let's say Argentina, we have I don't want to use Messi. Okay, let me use Julian Alvarez. Okay, or let me say Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez. Now Enzo Fernandez plays for Chelsea. Okay. Brazilian player. Okay, I'm going to use Rodrigo. Rodrigo. And Rodrigo plays for Real Madrid. Yes. Nigeria. Okay, I'm going to use Osimhen. I think Osimhen is popular. I'm going to use Osimhen. Yes, Osimhen. And Osimhen plays for Galatasaray at the moment. Okay, for Egypt we have Mo Salah. Okay, let me write the full name. Victor Osimhen. Then here I have Mohamed Salah. And Salah plays for Liverpool. Okay. Who again? Okay, this is for France. Okay, I can repeat France 2 times. Let me repeat France 2 times. Okay. France. Which player do we know that plays for France? Okay, Mbappe. Mbappe. Okay, Mbappe plays for Real Madrid. Then I think for France we also have Tchouameni. Tchouameni. And Tchouameni also plays for Real Madrid. Okay. Then for Nigeria, I think I have Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman. And Ademola Lookman plays for Atalanta. Okay. So for Argentina again, I think after Enzo Fernandez, we have is there any Argentina player again in Chelsea apart from Enzo Fernandez? Okay, let me use Lisandro Martinez. No? No. Okay, yes, Lisandro Martinez. Okay, Lisandro Martinez plays for Manchester United. All right. Now, I'm going to perform if statement on this. Sorry, count if and count if statement. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with the count if is this. Count if. Okay, now I want to count how many times does Manchester United appear in the club side. That is only one criteria. Remember, the count if counts based on just one criteria. So I want to count how many times Manchester United appear, or should I say, yes, how many times Manchester United appear from the club side. So my formula is equal sign, then if, count if. Now it's telling me to highlight the range. So I'm going to highlight this range. That is the club, only the club range. Then it's telling me to enter the criteria. That is the criteria I want to check, which is Manchester United. So I'm going to put it in a double quote. Sorry. I'm going to put it in a double quote. So I have Manchester United. Enter. So Manchester United actually appeared 3 times, which is 1 for Bruno, 2 for Diego Dalot, 3 for Argentina. I believe you understand that. The count if count just based on one criteria. So the criteria is how many times does Manchester United appear in the club side, which is 3. We can also do the same thing. Maybe how many times does Nigeria appear in the countryside? Yes, how many times does Nigeria appear in the countryside? So I can say equal to count if, which is this, then the range. So I'm going to select this. Then for the criteria now, the criteria is Nigeria. So if I click enter, Nigeria appears 2 times, which is for Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen. Yes, Victor Osimhen. I believe this is understandable. Now for the count ifs. Count ifs. Now the count ifs works based on, it counts based on more than one criteria. There must be more than one criteria. So equal to count ifs. So which is this? Now it's telling me to click on the criteria range first. That is for the first criteria I want to consider. So here now I want to consider how many players are from Portugal and are playing for Manchester United in this table. How many players are from Portugal and are playing for Manchester United? Please take note. Portugal and Manchester. So let's say I'm choosing the country first, which is Portugal, and the criteria I'm checking out in the criteria I'm checking out in the countryside is Portugal. Yes. So comma. I put the second criteria. Now the range again, which is for Manchester United. So I'm going to come here, then comma, put my double quotation, then type in Manchester United. Enter. Yes, so we have 2 players on this particular table that are from Portugal and are playing for Manchester United, which is Bruno Fernandes and then Diogo Dalot. As simple as that. So I'm going to do it again. Okay, let's say how many players are from France and are playing for Real Madrid? Yes, from France and are playing for Real Madrid. So equal to count ifs. Count ifs. So the first criteria, which is, okay, let me click this first. And I put my comma sign, then the double quote, and Real Madrid. Then my second criteria, which is country. I'm clicking the range, then comma, then the criteria, which is France. Okay. Now if I put comma, that means I have another 3rd criteria. If I should add the 3rd criteria and then maybe continue like that, then it will just continue. So it depends on how many criteria, but this time I have only 2. So enter. 1 player. Okay, yes, look at this. It's actually 1 player from France playing for Real Madrid. So this is a wrong spelling of France. So I'm going to correct it. Please observe this particular one here. So I'm going to correct this to France. Enter. Automatically it changed to 2. That means we have 2 players from France that are playing for Real Madrid. Or should I say we have 2 players that are playing for Real Madrid and they are from France. That is count if. Okay. In the next video or the next tutorial class, we'll be talking about the sum if, the sum ifs. Then we also talk about the some other basic functions that are going to be useful for data analysis. And at the same time, we'll be talking about text functions like the mid, the left, the right, the concatenate, and all of that. Yes, we'll be talking about that. Like for instance, if I'm to use for the left, what left does is left. Maybe the left is to pick a number of characters maybe from a text. Maybe from Portugal, I want to pick only the first three characters. If I click on this, enter, then maybe I say 3, enter. See, it picks out only POR, POR. So if I drag down, I have Spain, Argentina, Brazil, Nigeria. Yes, that's for left. I can also do the same thing for right. So imagine I click right, maybe I say right, like this, and I press enter. It's going to pick only the last 3 letters. And if I drag down, we have for Gal, for Spain, Argentina, and all of that. So that's the way it is. Left, right, mid, concatenate, and all of that. So for now, you can rewatch the video again or drop to understand better, or you drop any question you have in the comment section. Thank you very much. See you guys in the next video.